When a Revit model is linked to another model, the position of the linked model can be saved as a site in the linked project file. Sites are also known as named positions. Since the actions you must perform in this lesson will change the exercise files, be sure to save a backup copy of those files if you plan to repeat this lesson more than once. The current project is a site model. There are also two simple models that you can link in and create sites for in order to better understand how sites work. First, use the Switch Windows tool in the Quick Access toolbar to switch to the sample building1.rvt project. In this model, there is a simple building, and in the site plan view, you can see the project base point and survey point. When you select the survey point, you can see the coordinates of the point as well as the fact that it is using the default internal site. When you click Survey Point, Internal, the Location, Weather, and Site dialog displays with the Site tab open. Here, you can see that the default internal site is the only site created in this project. Sites, or named positions, are really only needed when the project is going to be linked into another model. For example, if the same building model will be used several times, multiple sites can be created for the positions on the site, as with identical dormitory buildings on the same site or identical condominiums on the same site. Another example where multiple sites could be created is with a unique building that you want to move around the site in order to evaluate the various positions. Then, when the building model is linked to the site model, the building could be moved around by changing the site. If you have a standalone building model, you will typically have just the one site. To create a new site, click Duplicate. Name the new site Position 2 and then click OK. Repeat this to create another site called Position 3. Lastly, select the internal site and click Rename. Rename this site to Position 1 and click OK. As you can see, the Position 1 site is indicated as the current site. This simply means that the building model in this project is at this site. With multiple sites created, you can delete sites that are not the current site, and you can make other sites the current site. However, all the sites are currently the same, and since this model has not been linked into another model, there is no way to change the position of the sites. Also, pay attention to the angle from project north to true north at the bottom of the dialog. When a position is recorded as a site, the angle from project north to true north will be shown here. Click OK to close the dialog and then click Save in the Quick Access toolbar. Once the project has been saved, expand the application menu and click Close. Now switch to the sample building2.rvt project. As you can see, the project base point and survey point are in different positions than they were in the other building model. Also, when you select the survey point and click Survey Point Internal, the Location, Weather, and Site dialog displays again. Leave the default site as it is and click OK. Then close this project. Now, in order to link one of the building models into the site, on the Insert ribbon, in the Link panel, click Link Revit. Then select Sample Building1.rvt. In the Positioning drop-down, choose Auto, Origin to Origin, and then click Open. Once Revit reads the file and brings it in, you can see it within the host model. Next, on the Manage ribbon, in the Manage Projects panel, click Manage Links. On the Revit tab, click Add. Select Sample Building2.rvt. In the Positioning drop-down, choose Auto, Origin to Origin, and then click Open. Two building models are now linked to the site model. In order for the models to share the same coordinate system, the coordinates must be published from one model to the others or acquired from one of the models. Click OK to close the dialog and then expand the Coordinates button in the Project Location panel of the Manage ribbon. Here, you can see that there is an Acquire Coordinates tool and a Publish Coordinates tool. Select the square-linked model. In the Properties palette, name this instance Building 1-1, and then click Not Shared next to Shared Site. This opens the Share Coordinates dialog. Here, you can either publish the coordinates of the host file to the linked file, or you can acquire the coordinates from the linked file. These options are the same as using the tools on the Manage ribbon. Best practice is to publish coordinates from a site model to a building model while working in a site model, so leave the Publish option selected. Next, click Change. This opens the Location, Weather, and Site dialog. As you can see, the named positions or sites that you created before display here. You can select any of the sites to record the current position to. Click OK with Position 1 selected. Then click Reconcile to record the current position of the linked model. Next, select Building 1-1 and click Copy in the contextual ribbon. Create a copy far to the east on the site. Once you do, you can see in the Properties palette that the copy has been named Building 1-2. Also, be aware that the copy is not shared. Click Not Shared in the Properties palette. This opens the Select Site dialog. There are three options here. You can move the instance to another location. However, remember that the three sites created in the samplebuilding.rvt file are still the same. You can record the current position as Position 2, or click Change to select another site, or you can choose not to share the site of the selected instance. Select the option to record the current position as Position 2 and then click OK. Next, select Building 1-1 again and then click Copy in the contextual ribbon. Create another copy to the north. Then, in the Properties palette, click Not Shared and record this position as Position 3. Now select the rectangular building and move it to the center of the site. Once again, in the Properties palette, click Not Shared. Remember, this project just has the one default site. However, you can create sites as you go as well. Click Change to open the Location, Weather, and Site dialog. For now, just rename the internal site to Position A and click OK. Be aware that when opening this dialog from the Properties palette, you are controlling the sites for the actual linked model, not the current model. Click OK to close the Location, Weather, and Site dialog, then click Reconcile to close the Select Site dialog. At this point, there are still two building models linked to the site model, but there are multiple instances of one of the models. The final step you must not forget is to save the positions. To see the importance of this step, select any instance and move it. When you do, nothing happens. The instance simply moves. This is because these positions have not been saved. Click Undo and then click Manage Links in the Manage Project panel of the Manage ribbon. In the Manage Links dialog, select samplebuilding1.rvt and then click Save Positions. Revit displays the Location Position Changed dialog. There are three options here: Save, Do Not Save, and Disable Shared Positioning. If you do not save the positions, the named positions or sites will return to the previously saved positions when the link is reloaded or reopened. If you select Disable Shared Positioning, the shared position parameters will be cleared. Select Save to save the current positions. Next, select SampleBuilding2.rvt and then click Save Positions. Once again, click Save and then click OK to close the Manage Links dialog. Now when you attempt to move an instance of the linked model, a warning appears. You can click Cancel to cancel the move, OK to accept the move and leave the position unsaved, or Save Now to save the current position. Click Cancel. At this point, select Building 1-2 and delete it. Then select Building 1-3. Click the button next to Shared Site in the Properties palette. In the Choose Site dialog, select Move Instance to and then expand the adjacent drop-down. As you can see, Position 1 is noted as in use because another instance is using that site at the moment. Position 3 is the current position of this instance. Select Position 2 and then click OK. When you do, that instance is moved to the Position 2 site. So as you can see, if a site or named position is not used, you can move an instance of the model to that location. Save the current project and then close it. Then open the SampleBuilding1.rvt project. In the Site Plan view, you can see that the survey point has moved because it is now using the same shared coordinate system as the site model. Select the survey point and then click Survey Point Position 1 to open the Location, Weather, and Site dialog. Select Position 2 and then click Make Current. Click OK and then zoom to fit so that you can see that the position of the building model changed. The recorded sites now have actual coordinates in this model, and you can move the model around as needed.